settings with a lot of different battles. Florist Park, a shining city that hides its rot beneath polished streets. It's a place where good intentions clash with bad actors and where every decision has a price. Brian, Braxwell, and Ingrid, the core of this Accept task force, are caught in the middle of all of this. Balancing duty, conscience, and survival. You've seen them all across the Rippaverse, seen the tension, the trust, and sometimes the cracks. But in their own title, the stakes rise. The Eagle's Nest has fallen. The Florist Park police waver in their support, and the heart-wrenching loss of a colleague still lingers in the shadows. Brian Solari knows what war looks like. The chaos, the politics, the lives it consumes. And even if this isn't a clash of nations, it's a war all the same. Now the question is, how does a team like this deal with the fallout of their own choices? Find out in Alpha Core number 2, written by Chuck Dixon and penciled by Joe Bennett. The mission continues, and not everyone walks away clean.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome, or good afternoon, or good morning, I guess. Depends on the
Depends on where
you're from, where you're from,
Mm-hmm.
who you're spying on, what your intentions are.
Yeah.
Are they good? Are they bad? Are they indifferent? Are they
Who
benevolent,
knows?
malevolent?
Who knows?
Who knows? And welcome to Ripping a Silverback, episode 93.
93. 93. Let's go. Let's go.
Holy.
93. Creeping on up. 7 episodes away from that 100, baby. Let's go.
That's a little something. That's a little something. Hey, playing that Alpha Core 2 trailer, and I just got to say to myself, I've just had a little bit of that. I've just had a little fraction of that.
Yeah. A little bit.
And it feels crazy. Feels really, really quite amazing to do that. Can't wait. Chuck Dixon, GOAT, absolute GOAT.
He is.
So excited to get me grubby mitts on that. I am the Silverback. He's Rip. How you doing, Eric?
Doing good, man. Busy. End of the year. So if you know, sometimes it can be fun. Sometimes it's not, depending on how you're doing. But it's tech stuff and all the business things that we must take care of to wrap up.
Business.
So all the business stuff that we must take care of. So it's busy around here. Obviously, we have some things launching, things about to start fulfillment, Horseman, Norfolk, as well. But yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been a very fun time, but a busy one nonetheless. And yeah, having a little one running around here these days also takes up a little time and some sleep.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I see there's some teases that have been going out for Lillian and Michael's books as well.
Yeah, I think everybody knows it's safe to say that that's going to be one of the next things that get out there. So, because we've been dropping those nuggets, and a lot of people have been anticipating that, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Lots of fun.
Saucer's going head to head.
First time ever.
Right?
First
As
time ever.
opposed to working together head to head. Oh my goodness me. I would love to be a fly in the wall of that place.
and we're leaning into it, guys. It's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be a fun release.
You need Team Soska t-shirts. Team
Yeah.
Soska, and that way
way it's just whoever. Which Soska are we talking about? You determine which Soska.
I'm Team Soska. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but
man, it's gonna be awesome. I'm really excited about that, and that's coming real soon. Soon.
Just something I had to address. So I feel it's only fair that you have to address it because it is actually being asked of you. as well. But I've had this myself. Pre-dawn corpse. If I can get into the how do I even use StreamYard anymore? Pre-dawn corpse with a $5 says Ripper. RTU, he ate his daughter's eyes.
What the
He
fuck
ate
is
her
that?
eyes.
What is going on with that? What is the? Do I want to know the lore?
I thought you would have been up on your Kino memes personally.
It's been a while. Shout out to both of those brothers. But yeah, it's been a while since I had a chance to they be streaming at night, and I haven't been updated on my casino lore these days. But what is? I don't even know if I want to know what that guy's up. Not the Kino guys, but RT.
Oh no, fuck the other guy. No, it's just the meme. I mean for the memes, man. I mean for the memes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, everyone else that has super chat, we'll get to those as usual, and I do appreciate you. But
yeah.
Since I had to address that, I thought it was only fair that Ripper did that himself. Now, let's start off with Predator Badlands. Get that out of the way, because we've got some gaming stuff. It's always nice when we got some gaming stuff.
Oh yeah,
we've got some gaming stuff to go into because there's a game right now that's really kind of hitting the public zeitgeist. You can't help but if you're scrolling YouTube Shorts, Insta Reels, it is just chock full of Arc Raiders little snippets. Gaming communities really seems to have embraced that. And we've got some sales numbers for Arc Raiders.
Okay.
We've got some legit sales figures confirmed by Sony now of Yotai.
Finally.
And let's just say that one is significantly different to the other. And it's going to be interesting to kind of go through that and have a bit of a chat about that. But this episode seems to be all about the numbers. I popped up a video today earlier after this stream chat, if you want to go check it out, where I don't know if you've seen it. I like to hear what you think about this. But over on social media, I know you've been a busy guy. Over on social media, I've seen a lot of people talking about Predator Badlands in our circles. Majority of them not particularly impressed with the film. I think it's not very good at all. A Disney-fied, kidified, girlified Predator movie.
That's what they're saying.
That's what they got. But I'm seeing this massive, what I think is a gaslighting wave. But I said this gaslighting wave of 18-year-old Redditors who suddenly are massive Predator fans out of nowhere.
Man, such a
Predator, hashtag he him, hashtag fucking clown show. They got all of their fucking pronouns. They got all their little Predator memes, and they're like 5 years old. That just magically popped up out of nowhere. And if you'd just been on social media, you would have thought that Predator Badlands would be the greatest performing movie of all time, the greatest movie of all time. I mean, what have you seen out in the ether of social media or about Predator Badlands?
Well, from the people that I trust, at least, they don't like it, particularly with Predator. Now, my thing is, and what I've at least picked up on is, this seems to be akin to basically every single kind of cultural kind of moment that we deal with now, where people will pretend to be, all right, so they zoom out a little bit. They focus so much on who dislikes something or likes a thing, and they take these positions out of spite, right? So to your point where you say you would think that, oh, there's all these people that will go out there and either go out and support this or be super fans, but that's not what it's about. We know that this isn't something that they actually are even mildly interested in. They look at it more so like, well, the chuds, right? That they dislike it, and therefore they have to take the opposite position. They're the state of mind, like it requires them to do so, and it's we've seen it time and time again. So that's why almost never does it match, like especially with sales figures, it almost never matches what these guys, as far as the hoopla that they're chatting about online. It doesn't match it. It never matches it.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to see a Redditor with Predator in their social media bios, I just think that's their personal disposition by being on Reddit. By being on Reddit, they're just a natural fucking sex pest predator, weirdo fucking Fredo, and they're just out and open with saying it. I mean, that's what I saw. Apparently, they are absolutely, huge Predator fans. Well, the thing is, we've had the opening weekend, and the opening weekend was bizarrely gaslit again. There was a very lowball prediction that it was going to do 60 million worldwide. Now, what is rather interesting, by the way, is 99 times out of 100, they'll tell you what the predicted domestic is.
Mm-hmm.
But this time they wanted to give
you
add
some numbers.
Predicted worldwide.
Just a little bit, at least publicly. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, maybe to boost the numbers up. But they predicted that this was going to do 60 million worldwide, and it ended up doing 80. So like, this is huge. It's massively exceeded expectations on what it's going to do worldwide. The movie has a budget of $105 million.
Sheesh.
For a Predator movie, yep. Which means to break even,
these budgets, bro.
You're looking at,
bro.
I know, dude. 105
they
for a
have
Predator
to do
movie's insane.
They have to do something about this, man. Like, I know it's kind of more or less a side note, but damn, bro. Like, every single movie that we look at seems to be, all right, what is the budget? 100+ million. And you're like, where did the 100 million go? Every show,
right?
250, $300 million show, 11 episodes. Where is I'm watching the show. Where is the money going? Where is it at? As far as the production is concerned, you know there's going to be people getting paid on the back end. You got your back office guys and all that. But as far as the production, where is this hundreds of millions of dollars? Where is it going? And you can never see it. You can never see it. It just doesn't make. Yeah, I mean, for sure. But it's they got to get it under control, man. They have to. And I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse here when I say that, because we all know that. Like, that's I guess Hollywood, their only way out of this, which maybe you don't want them to find a way out of this, but depending on who you are. But the only way out of this is to get that under control, man. Like, they have to get that shit under control. And it just seems like they don't even care to address it at all, man. What movie have we seen as of recently that we're like, yeah, they kept that, they penny pinched, right? They kept the budget under control. They only paid for what they need. That was like of that magnitude, like something that not like this major indie film or something like that. But anything that has a name tied to it of a major studio or major property, they are spending on the upward of $100+ million, and nobody knows where the money's going.
No, I mean, Godzilla -1 coming in at around 15 million budget. The defunct Batgirl movie, 90 million.
How?
90 million.
How? Right? Batgirl doesn't have powers. You don't need CG or any of that shit. How?
Birds of Prey movie just before the coup hit, $100 million. And budget.
I reviewed. That's one that I could say I reviewed. Like, I actually watched that when I was still checked in. I did a full 45-minute review. Went through the history of Birds of Prey. I don't see $100 million in that film, ass. Even by 2018 standards or whatever the fuck, I don't see $100 million. I don't see $100 million in no fucking Birds of Prey. No, they didn't do anything spectacular. There's no over the top CG. It's just a fucking Birds of Prey, not a very good one, but a Birds of Prey movie. Where is the $100 million going?
Oh, it's a hideous movie, absolutely hideous movie. Well, unions again. Bet Margot Robbie cost a little bit. I remember distinctly at the time going, how has this movie been given 100? And Christina Hodgson, I believe, wrote it. And to go with her line of failures, The Flash. He wrote The Flash. He did Bumblebee, which, although that's the only one that I particularly liked, didn't do great at the box office. What else? She did another massive failure, which eludes me at the moment. Oh, Wonder Woman 1984.
She hot. Oh yeah.
And she's on James Gunn's writing team, which probably explains why Superman was so shit. It's funny because I just saw a clip, actually slightly sidetracking. I just saw a clip this afternoon of James Gunn being interviewed, and he was talking about how he would argue with David Cornsweet on set.
Yeah.
And David, by the way, David Cornsweet's stock with me is rising considerably every time I hear about the guy. And David Cornsweet would argue about the scene and what was being represented in the scene and the way that James Gunn did it. And Jay said, I would have to explain to him all the time why I would do this. And we'd end up agreeing that my way's better, but his way was good. And I'm just like, no, you got there. And I was thinking, I've seen David Cornsweet's non-directed what do you call it? Begins with A. Oh my god. Audition. Hello. His non-directed audition where he does the Lois Lane scene, and he does it a million times better than in the film. And I just got to say to myself, I kind of think that maybe David Cornsweet had better ideas than James Gunn with the certain scenes, and James Gunn just dismissed them. After seeing that Superman film, I'm willing to be more open to that for sure. But absolutely monumental budgets. And then we're meant to believe, by the way, that the Superman film was 225 million budget. Okay, sure, Jan. So we've got these budgets that are absolutely out of control. So Predator Badlands, 105. So if we are the kindest that we can possibly be, first of all, just double it, because 50-50 split with the theaters, and of course the international takes lower. So if a theater take is like 51, 52, it'll even itself out a little bit. So double that. So that 105 becomes 210. Add the marketing, which tends to be about half of the production budget, unless you have it specifically announced, like it was with Superman, according to them. And I was generous, and I said, instead of, let's just make it a nice round number. So let's just push it to 250 mil. So this film has to do 250 million there or thereabouts to break even.
Yeah.
So it does 80 million on its opening weekend.
40
million
worldwide.
Domestic. Yeah, worldwide. 40 million domestic, 40 million international. Already, that is putting up against it. It's not the great. It's not terrible.
It needs some solid word of mouth.
Legs. So. It needs some legs. And in a couple of weeks, Wicked comes out, and then Zootopia 2 comes out, which are probably going to be two big films in terms of people going to the cinema. And then a couple of weeks after that, Avatar's going to come out, and so it's literally got this week of uncontested. Running Man remake comes out this week. I don't think that's going to have too much effect, but it most likely will take some.
Maybe, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, what do you think? 250 mil? Well, what are you thinking?
That's tough. That's a tall order. To your point, it does need some legs in order to get there. But that's the problem, though. I know we've talked about this several times on the show, and we keep coming back to this, but the truth is they would help themselves a lot by simply not, it's not rocket science, or rather, you don't need to be an economist. No. Don't start your project off with $100 million. Especially a Predator movie. Especially one of those. Don't start there. You help yourself out a lot. But they're up against it, as you were mentioning. Like, the reason why we're leading with that they're up against it is because they spent so much. Now, if they have that opening and they spent, let's say, $45 million,
60 mil, yeah,
right?
budget, yeah.
Then we're like, okay, like they make it do a little something here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's not what we're dealing with. The context matters here. We're dealing with $100 million, bros. And that's what we keep revisiting. How in the hell does Hollywood? And look, man, I don't want to be doom and gloom, but I think it's more of a bubble that is bound to burst. Definitely with the rise of like AI, and I think these companies at some point are going to cut their losses, man, and be like, man, this isn't working. This is not profitable. This is not something that we can afford to continue to sink so much money in and just get a return like that, understanding the state of the industry. Now, I've been a little more cynical. Well, that's probably not the proper word, but for me, I'm not as optimistic as maybe some others are with how theater, or rather cinema, is set up. I think we've passed any sort of peak like that. I think those days are over with. I don't think you're ever going to get a return to, okay, you have these, especially with summer box offices, where you just have several at a time, just standout films that do very, very well. I just don't think that people look, folks consume media far differently than what they did even 10 years ago. I don't know, maybe the COVID era stuff kind of accelerated it a little bit, and how people approach things, folks being at home. You got streaming, you have, more importantly, just people looking at other things and other ways to be entertained. I think that's the biggest thing that Hollywood that's the elephant in the room for Hollywood that has continued to go unaddressed, and they're not the only industry that has to deal with it. But entertainment is so far and widespread now that people are comfortable, people are satisfied going other routes instead of getting with whoever significant, one's loved ones, friends, family members are saying, hey, let's go to the cinema, right? Like, that's just not as much of a thing anymore. And I don't think it'll ever return to that. Me and Gary spoke about it briefly yesterday. Was it yesterday that I was up there? Yeah, I believe it was yesterday. They just running each other down. But we were, I think yesterday, because he was out here. Yeah. So we were talking about how, some cinemas are kind of going to go into the, like, they're going to really go all in on the experience. Like, yeah, you have the dine-in experience that some of these cinemas have, but it's going to have to be like an expensive,
expensive.
Like kind of outing is what it's going to end up kind of turning into, in order for them to make that make sense. But I think, just as far as the sheer number ticket sales, I just think that those days are over with, and I don't think we'll ever return to it. And some of it is Hollywood's own fault, but a lot of it is just,
I think a lot of it is Hollywood's own fault.
Well, for sure, they did not help themselves out with some of the attitudes and perspectives that we cannot get away from with their stardom. Okay, let's be honest. Social media killed the superstar. It killed the media star. It killed all of them. But the problem here is that they don't want to address, and they probably will never admit, is people don't care about that as far as their form of entertainment, especially these younger generations, as they had before. You're talking about a generation of people that have now come up that are like, that was never their go-to form of entertainment. It may have been a thing that they went and did, but you got folks that they look at streamers there for their entertainment. They look at video games, like
social media,
social media, like where time that they can sink so much time in that thing, whatever that thing is, that really them going to a movie and going out of their way is just not something that they want to do anymore. So that's the problem that Hollywood has right now, that I know that they don't want to admit it, the stardom, even star power with certain like actors and actresses, that's pretty much gone. Like, people know you exist, but do you have enough draw for people to say, I am going to see this film just because X person is in that? It's not a whole lot of those anymore.
No.
If any.
I do think Hollywood still has the attitude that it's the most important thing in the universe ever.
That's the problem
in its own world. And
because how do you adjust if you still think like that?
Well, exactly. Well, particularly when the gaming industry is like 3 times bigger than you.
Yeah. Your game is way bigger than you now,
and it adds, clearly far more convenience and utility to the player as well. They can just download a game now. Don't even have to go out to a shop and
that's a good point.
Buy a physical copy. Yeah. You can just download a game, download a movie, put on a streaming service, pull up a social media, a TikTok, or whatever. Go to the cinema, you got to make an effort. You got to get out there. You got to go to them. You got to buy that ticket. You got all the extra expense. You got travel expenses, food expenses, however many people are going. You're taking the family, you're taking the kids, whatever it may be. So it's almost like instead of being an exclusive thing, it becomes a privilege, not for the family, but for the cinema. It's a privilege to have the customer come in.
Absolutely,
it's a privilege for the industry to get this person's business.
100%.
But they don't view it that way. You're poor. You're a pleb. They have more money than you. They look down on you. They're elitist, and you're just the small people, the little people, who these wonderful darlings are going to entertain for your pleasure. And that attitude, I don't think has ever changed at Hollywood, which is it is what it is. But speaking of social media, if I'd come out of Predator in 1987, I mean, I was only 12 at the time, so I wouldn't have come out in the cinema. But I saw it on a bootleg VHS when I was about 13 years old or whatever. If you had picked me up then and taken me to 2025, the future, crazy. Are there flying cars and stuff like that? No. But the world is full of 8 billion fucking retards now. Oh, great. And then they go, right, 2025, we're going to show you some marketing for the Predator movie that's coming out then. Wow, Predator's still going. Fuck yeah, it is. Crazy. So let's show you some advertising, some marketing, I should really say, for the new Predator movie. Okay, look, great. I'm so excited.
Me.
Yeah, this is terrible. This is not a good ad. Yeah,
who's this for? Who is this fucking movie for?
The Whammons. Yeah. That's why, those of you that have called it more like kind of a girl brand Predator, that's kind of that's how you would market it if that's the case. It just doesn't work for that franchise. It doesn't work at all. It's not that was never going to work. But again, here I go going back to you paid $100 million.
Quick context. That Alanis Morissette mixed in with whatever the rapper is. Don't know. Don't care to know. Don't give a fuck, by the way. That is currently one of the new trends going TikTok. Around on TikTok, Instagram, where you start off with two people back to back. One person does the Alanis Morissette, the camera pans round, and the other person does the 100 motherfuckers, whatever, does the rappy crappy bit, right? So that is a TikTok trend.
Predator, TikTok, those go hand in hand. That's exactly what I think. TikTokers, when I think Predator.
You have to see the new you have to see the new Predator movie. Yeah, hold on. I just got to get my quick TikTok fix in though. Oh look, it's fucking Alanis Morissette MASH. Oh, got to get this one watched before I watch Predator.
Yeah, they go hand in hand, ass. They go hand in hand. But that's fucking the problem.
Fucking mouth in ass, mate. Yeah, they go mouth in ass.
It's just not good. But man, we keep revisiting these. Look, I'm over the kind of all the distortion of franchises that folks have grown up on. I mean, look, man, that's just kind of the era that we're in, that they're going to bastardize everything, just kind of accept it, embrace it. If they have not got around to something that you have loved for the last 40 years, they will get there. Trust me. If they haven't got there yet, they're going. Your time will come.
Oh, yeah.
Best believe that. But for the most part, they've pretty much got everything and just absolutely ran it into the ground. And some of it's desperation. A lot of it's just the times. And I think Hollywood is stuck in they're trying to appeal to a demographic that doesn't exist while trying to rely on the nostalgia. And it's just not making for a good recipe of for success. And again, a lot of it's because they did it to themselves with their budgeting, with some of the positions that the little agents over there in Hollywood have taken. It's just not conducive to making a profit, making this film and cinema just a profitable venture. Like I said, I think it's just an inevitable bubble that's going to collapse. You're going to have your isolated successes, especially with like some of these, like the kids content as well. But man, it's been, I've been watching some of the coverage of some of like the October box office and stuff, and just how it was one of the worst, one of the worst ever. And it's like, we're gonna
28, 27,
Yeah.
28 odd years.
yeah, like y'all do understand, like that's gonna be like we're gonna go each month, and there's gonna be a new record,
A new record.
that's gonna be broken, and this is going to continue to happen. This is like a Mayday kind of situation. Like Hollywood, I think that there's members of Hollywood that thought they were kind of semi-absolved from this whole market adjustment that's happening with how content consumption has just changed fundamentally over the years, but they're not absolved. And at some point, again, we've talked about it on the show, these companies do not enter into these $1 million, $100 million ventures to say we're going to launch 5 of them and maybe one of them sees a little success, or we're going to launch 10 of them and maybe 2 of them, a couple of them may be profitable, but the other 8 weren't. That's just not how they might be doing that, but that's not what they're in the business of. So that's not a long-term
it's what they shouldn't be in the business of.
You'd hope not.
But I think they are in the business of that. That's just the problem.
Whether they know it or not is what you're saying. Like they're
I think if this one made 10 million profit. What?
Yeah.
We made a profit on one of our films. Yeah. It's, how many did we lose on the others? Oh, we lost several hundred million on that. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Right. Thank God we had that $10 million
we're losing
on
several hundreds of millions to earn a couple of million. That's and I was crunching the numbers because I was looking at like Alien Romulus, for example. Came out last year. I have absolutely no interest in ever watching that film. I didn't have any interest in watching Midlands, but had to do it for FNT. Maybe I should leave FNT again. I would have to do this shit. But Alien Romulus was 80 million budget.
Okay.
And it had a slightly better it had a better worldwide opening than Predator Midlands, because it opened up with 108 million, which is 28 million more, because the international really carried it. The international did way more for Alien Romulus than the domestic. It did about 105 domestic overall and about 248 million international. Now, domestic and international for Predator right at the minute is on parity with each other, 40 million apiece. So if it kind of goes down the same trend as Alien Romulus, it's on a highway to lose money. And I think it'll hold up a little bit better for the next week, possibly two. But the holding up better domestically isn't going to compensate for the lack of hold up in the international. The international has to sprint ahead. It's not going to do that.
Right.
And my kind of prediction is I think it's gonna do 220 to 270. My personal guess is I think it's gonna peter out around the 230, 235 mark, which would be a loss.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you go on social media, you're being gaslit. This is the greatest fucking thing in the world. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, this I had some apps. I shouldn't really say this about people that watch my shit. I don't know if they watch my shit. Anyway, they'll follow me on Twitter. Anyway. I got just call it fucking retard. Like absolute fucking retards go, well, you know, it's something different for the Predator franchise. Nothing wrong with doing something different. The kids are gonna love the thing. I'm like,
no,
have you fucking heard yourself talking?
No, they're not.
Fucking dipstick.
No,
it's
kids,
not. The fucking kids are gonna like the kids
Predator. Anybody interested in Predators is grown, or it's gonna be grown folks that have somehow with their youngsters, which are gonna be older youngsters at that have kind of pass their nostalgia down to them. Those are the folks that's your demographic right now. It's going to be those types. So either way, it's adults, whether they're parents or the actual that are fans or just general fans. This idea that you can just, I totally understand, right? Let me be clear, because I'm a business owner, and I totally get where you want to expand kind of your pool of potential customers. Totally empathize with that. Like that goal. That said, you have a base. That base has to always appeal to it. You
don't alienate the base to get the new.
Bingo. That
doesn't make fucking sense.
It's retarded. But so often that becomes the tactic of so many companies these days, where their idea of expansion or trying to appeal to new people means they have to slap the base customer in the face, right? And say, we don't want you, this isn't for you, yada yada yada. That's been their problem for a while now. It's not a recipe for success. Never was gonna be. You cannot say to your other customers, like your main primary customer, your core base that's already there, they're baked in, you already did the work 40 years ago, it's ready to rock. Just serve them. If you don't do that, which so many people often do, you end up with nothing. The folks you appeal to don't like the shit, or you're attempting to appeal to, they don't like it. They hate it. The people you're trying to appeal to don't like it, and the folks that actually are into your property don't like it. So what are you left with?
Dude, we're talking about one of the most hyper masculine franchises, Predator, one of the most hyper masculine films with Predator in 87. Yeah. That there was, and now Disney are literally going, oh, this is for little girls now. This is Predator Princess, to try and get little girls interested in Predator. Whose fucking retarded idea was that? I mean, it's at Disney, so it could be any one of them.
Fair.
But you really think the Predator franchise is going to be propped up by little fucking girls? I am beyond.
Break it down, it sounds stupid, because
I am beyond.
It is stupid. It doesn't make any sense, but we're trying to make sense of these irrational decisions. But we go to any other property, and you can pretty much name it. It's the same thing. They're caught in the same loop. That is, we're trying to appeal to this new demographic, particularly these younger guys, TikTok generations, and what have you. But fuck those old guys, right? We don't. I mean, you saw that with Star Wars. Star Trek.
They haven't said anything like that, but this is clearly not made for anyone with any kind of.
Well, that's what I mean. It less about like it just in your face. Though sometimes they do that as well. Yeah, less in your face, like hey, go screw yourself. It's less that and more with what you produce, right? With what you produce, you're using a property that already exists for a reason, are you not? Because I would hope to appeal to, again, that demographic that is already baked in. That's your core customer base. But when you make something that doesn't even mildly appeal to them, it's like a skin at best. It's not something at its core that was meant for Predator fans. And you can kind of see them admitting that as far as what the content is concerned. then this is what you end up with. You end up with a nice, and when you spend money like it's going out of style, you end up with a situation that you're in now where you have to make there's just simply not enough people to make up for that loss, that hole that you already put yourself in. You've already overspent. You've made something that's pretty much not going to even target the people that are the super fans, and it's not going to be enough. Doing that TikTok video, I don't think won over a bunch of Gen Zers to go see Predator. You know what I'm saying? So there'll be
a couple of girls that go, "Oh my goodness, doesn't Elle Fanning or Ellie Fanning, whatever, doesn't she look lovely?" Which isn't kind of what you're really looking for, dude.
Not in Predator.
There is IP farming, but this is IP fracking, right? This is, and I'm being nice because I could refer to it as IP raping, which is also what it could. Because what they're doing is they're taking IP that doesn't belong in the demographic that they're trying to point it to, simply because it's a recognizable brand. Because none of these fucking spactards can create anything new and original and interesting.
Correct.
And so now they go IP raping, and they just right. We'll take that. And Predator is now a fucking girls brand. We'll whack it out there. Let's see if we get fucking 5-year-old girls to go to the cinema to watch Predator. It's like, what are you doing? We're like, where's your fucking brain at? Where's your mind at? Are you so devoid of any originality? You're so devoid of ideas, or are you so scared of trying to create something new that all you can do is just rely on buying IP and constantly buying IP?
I would be honest with you. I do think they're terrified of that because, again, they lost their sauce, and they're having to really compete with like a genre like gaming, right? A more interactive industry, or entertainment system, and that's hard. It's very difficult. I can empathize with that for sure as a small business owner myself. That can be a little maybe of a daunting task. And like I said, they're being faced with this reality that their industry just isn't the go-to anymore. Your celebrities don't draw. Nobody gives a shit. It's now I won't say, when I say nobody gives a shit, I'm talking about comparatively to itself.
I know.
Yeah, not just saying that some people don't care at all. It's just more so it's a different era. We're not in the era of, oh wow, I am going to see
drop in interest.
Yes, exactly. So that's what I mean. And that's hard to deal with, bro. And so the one thing that they know that they have is, at least, look, if I take this property, there's at least a frame of reference. Though it does seem to be a little counterproductive to say we're going to use this property, yet not at all target what made it great or why people liked it in the first place. That's illogical. Don't get me wrong. But that's why they lean on that, and why they are so reluctant to do something like new, because they look at that as much more risky. And to be fair, it is. So yeah, it is difficult, semi-difficult to, if that's where your starting point is. And games have done it too, right? Their starting point with some of these new, bro. We talked about these games. You know, what's the fucking game that was out for like 2 days and they spent $400 million? Concord, right?
Concord,
new property.
About two weeks.
That was a new property. They had all this investment and it just absolutely fell flat, and they pulled the plug on it immediately. You see what I'm saying? Like that's
but easy to see why, easy to see the mistakes, easy to see the ideology, easy to see the white hatred. There was a system of toxic positivity at the company. Nobody was allowed to say anything criticizing. It all had to be thumbs up. So you ended up with literal a game of retards, with mediocre gameplay, and then you wanted to charge for it, not even go out there free when there was plenty of free ones out there. You decided to charge $40 for that, 40 quid for that. Bang. See you later. 2 weeks, no players, dead.
Happens quick. It happens fast. And that's why they're relying on your Predators on pretty much any property that, we're on Toy Story 5. We're on new Zootopias. It's all shit that's been around. And I know people are like, damn, why can't they creatively bankrupt? Is maybe being a little harsh.
No, not really. No, but right now, look, giggle all you want, Eric. But I'm literally sat next to a guy that's created a whole universe of brand new characters.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
With new characters coming out all the fucking time.
That's
new
fair.
books coming out all the bloody time that require ideas, that require planning, which require a Bible, a book, a cohesive universe, all of that, right? You did that on your fucking own. We're talking, no offense to yourself, because you set that up with your own money and your own ideas. We're talking about billion-dollar machines here.
Right.
That just like, should we do a prequel? Should we do a remake? What IPs can we buy so we can actually put something out? Because that's what we're dealing with here, mate.
Yeah.
And we've literally got to the laughable point that let's take Predator and make it for fucking girls.
Yeah.
The Disney way.
That's fair. That is totally fair. No, like, maybe there is some creative bankruptcy for sure, that they're just like, they can't do it. They can't. They literally do not possess. And maybe it's an infrastructure thing, right? Like you have to facilitate. If you are a owner, or you have, in their case, they're mega corporate multinational, so they got their board and the various 10 VPs of bullshit, the VP of DIE and all this stuff, fake jobs galore. They have all that. But the idea is that they set the tone. You have to facilitate an environment where that creativity is allowed to flourish. And I think maybe from the infrastructure and some of the self-imposed rules that they have, it makes it increasingly difficult for them to create a new concept based on a property that didn't exist before. That becomes increasingly difficult when you don't have, you talked about toxic positivity. So that means that you don't have people that are willing to be honest about what's being put out there. You don't have people that are not caring about, well, wait a minute, we want to be eligible for this BAFTA award. We got to have 50% of our, whatever, being gay, lesbian,
X amount of representation for us to qualify to even get an award. Yeah,
exactly. So they worry about
making films for awards then, and start making them for who they should be for, which is the fucking general public, because the award's a piece of fucking plastic that means fucking nothing at the end of the day.
Exactly. But for them, for whatever reason, it means so much. But that's what got them in trouble.
It's my peers.
It's the peers. They care so much about what their peers think. And
all it's doing is costing you your whole fucking industry. That's all it's doing.
That's it. That's all that it's doing.
That's it.
But that's all they care
Other than
about.
That, fucking dandy.
But that's what they care so much about. And so they don't really have, it's an inability to pivot. It's an inability to, again, you're not really facilitating that creative environment, because you set yourself up for failure with those self-imposed rules that we've mentioned. You have the ideology obsession that has done them in, where everything has to unfortunately be looked at through this social, political, or political lens. That's a difficult environment as to create. It's almost impossible. It's almost impossible. And that's why you're on your Toy Story 5s. That's why you're on Predator 7th installment. That's why you're on all these properties. And those are the only ones that and then some of those are tanking, but those are the only ones that they know that they can rely on to get a return. That's because they just the infrastructure.
Can they? I mean,
well, that's a question. It's not a guarantee by any means. It's a question. Just because you do slap something on there that is recognizable does not mean people don't owe you money. So that does not mean that those people are going to be like, yeah, I'm throwing my dough at it. Here, bam, here, take it all. That doesn't mean anything. It means that you have a starting point. That's what it means. It means that people will at least give it the time of day. But even then, that doesn't mean that they're going to show up to the cinema. You still have to convince them. You have to convince them to get out. Okay, I'm going to go and get in my car, take the family, pay X amount of bucks, get the popcorn or whatever the fuck, and go watch this. That's a tall order. It doesn't matter whether you have a known recognized property or you don't. It's not an easy thing to do. And now, because people now have so many options, whereas to maybe in my generation, and obviously as a generation, that was the thing that we did, right? Weekend was about to hit. What are you doing? I'm gonna go see what hell. We don't
Go to
even know what we're
Flicks.
gonna see.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go there and
Let's just go to cinema, see what's on. Let's see what's on at the That was literally the line. Let's see what's on at the cinema.
Yeah.
And you turn up and you just look at the
Yeah,
board. What was there? Oh, let's go see that.
Well, that's
That
not
was,
a thing
that
people
was the
do
way it was
anymore.
done. Your mate would call you up. Fancy going to the Flicks tonight?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What's on? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yeah.
You know, we'll figure it
There's
out.
no
when we get there.
internet or anything like that.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know?
That was the experience for a lot. I think my generation probably was the last one where that was like a thing that we did. It almost goes hand in hand with like the arcades as well, right? Like it's like that was a thing that we did. We weren't going to the like that was an experience, right? It didn't matter what was really out during that time. We just go weekends coming up, and that was what people, youngsters did. That's what adults did. That's what families did. We just did that. Now people uber connected. It's a different era, different age, and they have other options. That's what really separates this era from that, is that people now can say, well, shit, I'll just go crank up this video game made about fucking selling drugs made about one guy. I don't have to go fucking to this to spend fucking take my family. I'm spending $100 to go to the cinema that day. If I'm taking my family of a few, to the cinema to go watch whatever, or I could go do this. That people just have so many, or I could just, I'm gonna kick back, get some work done. I'll watch my favorite streamer. They're gonna be gaming, playing a video game about drug dealing or some shit. Like it made by one person. It's people, again, they just consume things a lot different. And I there's a lot of people that don't want to have to deal with that reality. That, bros, the peak movie cinema age is fucking, you'll never see. We already had it. It's well past it. And
well, we did have the film star as well, though. So
we had that. And the film star now is dead. Like it doesn't matter. But people will see.
No, you got a retard like Pedro Pascal on social media, making sure he might be getting dopamine hits from everybody that's going, "Oh, you're great, we love you." He's losing you customers every time he opens.
Inflated half of the voting population to a funny mustache.
Every time one of these activist retards opens their mouth, they're losing you money. They're losing you customers, because they're literally telling people who could go see a movie that you're an evil, bad, blah, blah, whatever, name calling, blah, blah, blah person. And then that person going, why would I go watch a movie with that bell end in it? So you might, you think you're being smart. You think you're being clever by allowing these fucking idiots to open their mouths and do that. You shouldn't touch them with a barge pole. They should be cold shouldered until they fucking wake the fuck up.
Till they figure it out at minimum. Till they figure it out. Till they can say, all right, yeah, that wasn't the move. People have their opinions. Maybe my opinion isn't the only one in the fucking world out there. But
heaven forbid somebody have a different opinion than me. Heaven fucking forbid.
You know what I mean? Heaven forbid.
But when you demonize something to such a degree, it's no longer about a difference of opinion. It's about demonization.
Fact.
So in doing so, you're now demonizing your audience. It works both ways. And so you're telling, so your audience just won't bother. They won't bother.
Why would they?
And I just saw the numbers for Predator Badlands for the Tuesday, decent Tuesday, 5.7, just shy of 5.8 mil, which is about $1 million better than Alien Romulus. However, after 5 days, still behind Alien Romulus domestically, and Alien Romulus didn't do well domestically. It was in the international that it actually managed. So it's got work to do. It's got real work to do to well, even break even. To break even, it's
tough. Yeah, and what did you do? You said 109 million, was it? The
105 budget, yes.
Okay,
105 budget.
So
it's about
you that's your starting point. You've set yourself plus marketing. You set yourself. You're in a hole. You're in a hole that is it's becoming even more. It's like by the day, increasingly difficult you're talking mass appeal as, and this is why I think this is the way of the future. I don't think that you won't have ambitious projects. It's not that I think that you won't have cool short films or cool even longer form films or cool shows. I just think that the day that those are these $1.5 billion properties that, as far as the box office is concerned, I think those days are over with. I really do. Some people disagree with me, like, oh, they can return to form. They just need. I'm like, I just don't think that's the. I think lot of y'all
I think the industry.
Yeah,
you just got to gut your industry from top to bottom. You got to gut your you got your unions. You've got to gut your fucking red tape.
If we're talking that
system, yeah, sure, it's fucking piss easy, mate.
yeah. There you go. That's the thing. That's what I'm talking about.
Go everywhere else but the fucking America to make films now.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what you would have to do, and even then, you're still talking about, like, when the whole point, you're gutting all this. You got to have guys that understand the books, man, that are like, bros, I'm sorry. We spent this. These $109. We don't need to spend $109 million. I know that we got a caterer for the caterer. I know we have the VP that also has a president under them, which has operations, which have all these, and what's in this department. I go to them. I ask them what they do. They can't really answer that question as to what the fuck do you do for us.
Dude, show me you below the line.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. I want to see you below the line. Out of that 105 million, what's your below the line, mate?
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you it's going to be 50, 60 fucking million probably.
Yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%. So that's where these people are at. And it's going to be, I just don't think they have it in. They don't have it in them to turn it around. They can't turn it around. They're competing with video games and other more interactive media that, again, don't get that really out of other forms of entertainment, even like visual entertainment, like anime and stuff like that has become more accessible than what it ever had been in the past. You are up against it. You're up against it in the age where a fucking Demon Slayer movie can make more money than Superman. Like, you're fucking
Superman's 8th, Eric, on the year. It's number 8. It's the 8th highest grossing movie of the year. Superman, 8th. And with Wicked and with Zootopia and with Avatar still to come, even though Avatar's right at the end of the month, there is a good chance that Superman might be, unironically, the 11th highest grossing movie of 2025, which would be bloody pathetic. I mean, 8th is pretty fucking pathetic for Superman, but
that's unfortunate. But that's where we are at with this, especially the nerd properties. As like, look at as far as the movies and TV shows are concerned, just it's very difficult. I can't think of any off the top of my head. I know I'm in a little bit of a different situation, but even if I'm being completely objective, can you, like, over the last, and even in not over the last, look to the future, there's not a whole lot of film and TV properties where you're like, that are based on IPs that you know and love, that you're like, I can't fucking wait. I can't. It's difficult. I tried to think about it the other day. I couldn't. I tried. I could not. We know things are coming, right? But as far as, like, I'm actually stoked on this. Like, this is something that I am looking forward to. It's hard. I know you're trying to look at it. You can see he's really trying. You can't. It's almost impossible to do. Which is sad.
Desperately trying.
It's a sad state of affairs. Even when you want to be as fair as possible. It's
I
tough.
swear to God, I'm trying to be as fair as I can. Like,
it's tough. You might know things on the way, but are you excited about it? Are you stoked on it?
There's a difference between like, oh, that looks okay.
Yeah.
Like Fackham Hall, that looks okay. That looks like it could be fun. Am I excited for Fackham Hall? I'm not excited for it. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to come. Am I excited for John Wick 5 when it eventually comes? I'm going to go see it.
Right.
You know, but would I be excited? No, you know, it's the 5th in John Wick. That kind of excitement thing. Oh, John Wick 2, there's going to be a second one. Oh, fucking great.
Right.
In terms of a Marvel movie, fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. In terms of a DC movie, even worse now.
They're in limbo
Holy
right now.
shit.
We don't even
I'm
know what's gonna
dreading
happen.
seeing these DC movies now. Alien movie, Predator movie. No, I don't give a toss. You know, I don't give a toss. Knight Rider just came out in 4K. Gonna buy it right now. I'm more see that got more excitement.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That got more. Hold on, where is there? You go. That just got more excitement from me. Perfect Blue. Perfect Blue. Wonderful animation movie. Absolutely fucking awesome. Coming out in 4K. I've got the collector's edition. The steelbook, you know, box. Lovely. That's coming out in December. I'm excited to get that. When did Perfect Blue come out? 1999, 2001. You know, early 2000. I think 2001, maybe around about there. A 24-year-old movie. I'm more excited for a 24-year-old movie and a 40-year-old TV show coming in 4K than I am seeing. I'm excited for Wicked. Of course I'm not. I'm a straight man. I'm looking forward to Zootopia. No, I'm not a fucking degenerate pedophile furry. Am I looking forward to Avatar? No. I mean, the last movie I thought was... I hated the first one. The first one's shit. The second one I thought was okay. But if you ask me what happened in it, I can't remember a thing. Tell you. I can't remember a fucking thing.
That's what I'm saying. That is the state of film and TV right now, and that you cannot even. It's difficult, and it's only getting more difficult for you to just say, "Damn, is there something that I'm like I'm actually just stoked? Like I'm actually like, oh shit, I'm looking forward to this based on the property that I know." No, it's again, we're different age. They did it to themselves as far as like turning people off. I don't see that they have a way out of this. I'm just being honest with you. I can cope. I can do that and say, oh, well, yeah, man, if they just did this and that and do that. But if I'm being honest with myself, I'm coping. Because they're not going to do it.
No, and it is true, by the way. James Gunn will be executive producing a V for Vendetta TV series. Or HBO, whatever it is. A streaming TV. So everything you love is going to be gone, mate.
Told you, if they haven't got to what you liked, they'll get there. Just give them a little time. Like they're fine because that's all they have. They got nostalgia, name recognition is pretty much all they have to rely on now. They cannot come up with new ideas, so they have to take at least as a base, even if the version that they create is a bastardized form. Like let's say it's not even loosely based on what it came from. At least it has the name on it. Right, it has the property that's associated with. Like, I don't know if you've seen what's happening with fucking the Wonder Man shit. That ain't no fucking Wonder Man. I don't even like talking. That ain't no fucking Wonder Man. Like, what are we doing? None of that is. Who gives? That's what I'm saying.
It's with Wonder Man. Just by the trailer, it's nodding and it's unironically nodding and winking at itself about race changing and Wonder Man in their verse is going to be a TV show character, but it's going to end up being that guy. You know, he's going to end up having the powers in reality. That's
what I'm saying, man.
I'm like what is going on?
What is going on? Nobody knows. So my prediction is it's the same that it has been. You've heard me reiterate
December.
Before.
It's out in December.
It's that industry is cooked. I think that people need to start coming to terms with it, coming to the realization that you're going to see pockets, but it's a bubble that is waiting to burst. And I think on the other side of said bubble, the cinema and movie going experience is going to have to radically change to meet its demand. And I think the film and TV industry, as far as the producers are concerned, are going to have to really adjust their approach because it's just not the same kind of money running through it as before. That's why you're coming up with, hey, October was the worst box office in a quarter century. That's why you're going to have more of those, because the money has changed. Like, it's not the same kind of money going through it 25 years ago. It's just not, and it'll never return to that because the state of affairs are wildly different from what they were 25 years ago, even 10 years ago. And it's only trending in that direction. People, I look at my own life. This is where I really got peeled. When I was like, I can't remember if it was whatever came out the latest was the last movie that I saw in theaters out of Black Widow and the Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyderverse stuff, right? That's how long that it had been. And I look at my own life and I was like,
Justice League?
Yeah, no. It was the Snyder cut version of it.
Didn't that just come out on streaming?
I'm not sure. No. It was Snyder cut. They showed that in the theaters at some places. That was the last movie that was the last movie that I had like watched. If I again, I can't remember it might have been Black Widow, might have been the last one. Said just HBO.
HBO. Was it HBO? Yeah, I thought so.
Well, that was shit. That didn't even count then. So it would have had to be. It would have had to been Black Widow.
It did massive sales.
It would have had to been it. So that 4K, all right. Yeah. So it was Black Widow. Okay.
Jeez, so dude, that is it. Dude, go watch something good at the cinema if there is anything good that comes out. Just simply because that can't be the last fucking thing you see at the cinema.
That was the last one. That was the last one I went and saw. And I did the review.
Black Widow. I'm fucking you later. They're gonna try to make me a thing of fucking shit.
That was the last one that I saw. Oh, and after that, I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm done here. I'm gonna go do my own stuff.
Yeah,
but this is my thing.
I'm gonna invest my own money.
I'm gonna invest my own money.
Something that isn't fucking dog shit.
This is the thing. As more time progressed, the more I realized like I was okay with it. And the more it wasn't that I wasn't being entertained. It wasn't that I didn't have that like kind of escapism outlet, right? That I needed for as far as like winding down after I had completed my task and my work, or if I like wasn't spending time with the family or something. I was good. I had streamers. I had video games. I had other things, and that's. So, after that kind of self-reflection, I understand that there's a lot of other people that have a similar type of thing going where it's like, I don't have to go to the movies to be entertained. Like, it's not even a go-to form of entertainment for a lot of people anymore. That's what Hollywood has to deal with. And that's why they can't. And I think it's impossible for them. Yes, literally impossible for them to turn it around at its current state. Sure. Let's say that, hypothetically speaking, they gutted the entire shit and they said, guys, budgeting is going to be a priority of ours. We're not looking to spend $100+ million on movies anymore. We're looking to spend on the upward of maybe, 10 at max on certain things. And we're going to just maximize that, right? We're going to have smaller teams. You're not going to have the VP for the VP of the VP. And the caterer vice president as well working on these projects. You're going to have the bulk of it going to the production. We'll spend what we got to spend on marketing, but the bulk of it is going to go into production. That's what they would have to do. But again, that's going to be a smaller scale. And even then, you're not going into that creation thinking, I'm going to have a box office return of $1 billion. No, you're thinking I'm going to have a box office return, or I'd get away with a box office return of 50, 100 million or at the higher end. I think that's okay. I'm okay with it. But Hollywood itself has to be okay with it. And I don't think that they are. I think they're still stuck in like an era where they are worshipped. The ground that they are, the red carpet quite literally is rolled out for them wherever they go. And we don't live in that day and age. Nobody's falling out to see you. Nobody's lining up to the cinema to go see you at all. Nobody cares like that. Your mystique is gone. People can get all of your opinions because you gladly give them out on social media.
Oh yeah,
and sometimes they're not very good ones. That's what I'm saying. The mystique's gone. It's totally gone. They had that going for them. They no longer have that going, and you can't. There's no putting that back
can't
in.
Put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Right. That you can't do that. It's impossible. So what we have is what we have, and they have to adjust. Start looking at box offices differently, which means you have to start spending differently, and that's the only way that you can turn this around. And I just think it's gonna be a similar situation as it is gonna be with the comic book industry, where it's like you're gonna have your smaller companies that may see success, but success doesn't look like a $500 million project anymore. Success looks like maybe something much lower than that, and that's fine.
Well, it depends. It depends on the movie. Weapons that I saw this year, I loved Weapons. Saw it three times at the cinema. Made good money, over $200 million, and it had a budget of 38. For as much as I love the film, because it was a really good film, for as much as I love the film, I was struggling to see where $38 million
Where 38 million went. Right.
Yeah. I mean, if you told me that movie was 20 mil, I'd be like, okay, for an American film with like Josh Brolin and a couple of names in there, 20 mil, okay. Even if you told me that was 17, 18 mil, I'd be like, oh, that's good. They did all right on that. But 38, I'm just like, I am struggling very much to see where that 38 comes from. Now
Exactly.
that it was a good film and it made great profit.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. But again, you have to say to yourself, look at Japan, Godzilla -1. You got to imagine that the lack of fucking red tape, the lack of studio interference.
Absolutely. It has a lot to do
probably
with
the lack of unionization.
Probably, yeah.
Has made it to the point where you can make that film, which looks like a Hollywood $150-200 million fucking film.
Right.
If it was a Hollywood film,
if it was an American film, that's how much it costs.
16 million. Crazy.
Right. That I think that's the way of the future, where people are spending and companies are spending like that. And you get a decent return. Maybe it's not a $1.5 billion, maybe it's not a $2 billion movie, but it's a decent, you get a decent return. People that's their experience, or they still like that, they went and saw it. But that requires like a more cultural change, man. Like these guys have to get off their high horse in order for them to do that and do it. Does Hollywood have it? I mean, they still think they are the shit. Let them tell it. Let them tell it. They still think they're on top of the fucking world.
So much we could really go into, but would probably be going down massive rabbit holes.
Yeah.
About the separation of, we mentioned it a little bit last week about a completely different topic, but it really does apply here. The destruction of the middle class has a lot to do with this, because now you cannot relate to the working man anymore, because you are an elitist now.
Yep.
We can talk about the annihilation of the nuclear family, which again is the target audience. And so who you actually marketing?
Fantastic point. It is tied together. No. Like I'd revise that. Absolutely, is tied into what we talked about last week. That's a great point. That's a fantastic point. You talk about the destruction of the nuclear family. Like it's again that goes back to the cultural problem that the cinema, they don't think it's connected, because hilariously enough, or maybe it's a little bit of irony coming from them, they often are advocates of, these sleazy, slimy people. And even from the political stuff that they advocate, very anti-family.
Oh, very anti-family.
Very anti-family. And
fuckers.
they probably, yeah, exactly, stick their nose up at those types, not putting two and two together. That's your core customer base.
Correct. And there are other things that we could really go into it with a lot of more anti-white sentiment, a lot more anti-heterosexuality sentiment,
especially that
is pivoting towards a minute audience that doesn't exist to sell the products, while alienating the vast majority of audience which does exist. And audiences, if they're not getting what they want, they'll pivot elsewhere, because they can easily, because it's their fucking money. They don't need years and years and years to pivot. They can just go, I'm not going to go get it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go see it.
They're not controlling some multi-billion, multinational conglomerate that they have to, again, it's talking about funny, they're talking about Godzilla. but Godzilla's far more agile. Godzilla's actually more agile than what these companies are. As far as these like an individual or individual family, you bring up a great point. They don't have to commit to some shit for 5 years, 10 years process. They can just say, you know what, I'm just not going to do it anymore. And so they find something else.
Yeah, whether it be YouTube, whether it be video games,
streamers,
whether it be desktop, whether it be streaming, whatever it may be.
So many options, so many other options that people do not have to go to the cinema. They don't have to put up with that shit anymore.
Well, when you're demonizing things like masculinity as well, we're not seeing masculine role models on the screen anymore. We're seeing feminized men. We're seeing masculated women. We're seeing the perversion of the gender roles because with the insertion of DEI, you can no longer create compelling characters because the DEI characters can't do no wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so they tend to be written very badly. They tend to have no character, nothing about them that would make you want to like them because they are simply there based on superficial traits, skin color, gender, sexual orientation, religious orientation, ethnicity. You pick it. That's what it's there for. So that there are numerous factors into why this is going on. And it gets you to the point to kind of send it all around in a circle, a nice circle. You go all around in a circle to the point where we're now making Predator for fucking girls. That's where it's led to. A Predator movie for fucking girls.
Wow, what a state of affairs. Well, good luck, Hollywood. I just think you're cooked. And I'm not even just saying that because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of guys within them that aren't big fans of for some of the reasons that Az listed of people like me. But I just think you're that industry is just fucked. It's fucked. It's gonna look a lot different in 10 years, man. I'm just telling you this right now, and everybody needs to get fucking used to it. Like, get used to it. It's gonna look a lot different. But we got to talk about Ghost of Yote and sales numbers because there's been a lot of victory laps. Interesting enough, by the folks that think they have owned the chuds, because the numbers have finally come out and they start straw manning everybody's position as far as what they said that it was going to do. And they look at it dishonestly. It proves that they never have listened to anything that anybody had ever said about it. But they're doing their victory lap saying that, well, it sold X amount of millions and therefore you lose chuds. Ha ha ha. What are the numbers saying as and let's put the numbers in the proper context.
Yeah, let's just, again, I'll be fair as fair can be with this.
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotai sells 3.3 million copies in its first 32 days. Okay. So in its first 32 days, it sold 3.3 million. Now, Sony nor Sucker Punch have made any other commentary other than that. They haven't said we are very happy with the numbers.
These are the first numbers that we've
gotten. These are the first official numbers. These are the first official numbers that's been dropped. Everything else has been speculation, etc. And the speculation seems to be on par with where it is, which is quite ironic because we were initially saying, or we were initially hearing that it had sold about 2 million copies after the first 3 days, which was less than Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima sold 2.4 million copies in 3 days. So we had heard that. It's 4 non-blondes, not Alanis Morissette. Thank you. The song, the TikTok song, I said it was Alanis Morissette. It's 4 non-blondes. It's been a while. So if they've gone from like 2 million after 3 days to 3.3 after 32 days, so almost it has significantly slowed down already. Now, Ghost of Tsushima, after 118 days, so that's what, 4-5 months, 4 months ish, had sold 5 million copies, and it's now going on to do just over 13 million copies. Where will Ghost of Yotai continue from there? Because I don't think we're going to hear any more sales numbers for a long time.
You know how to go from 3. All right, so they have basically 3 months to sell 10 million copies.
No.
Give or take?
They got 3 months to sell. If they want to keep on track with Ghost of Tsushima,
Yeah,
they've got to sell another 1.7 million in the next 3 months.
yeah.
Bearing in mind, you do your bulk of your sales primarily within the first couple of 3 weeks.
Yeah. 5 million after 100, got you. 13 million
Yeah.
copies sold, including sales of PC. Got you. So up to now. So yeah, they would have to. Okay, so in 3 months, you're talking about basically doubling what they've well, a little under that.
Well, they've got to do let's say 1.7 in the next 3 months to match
3 months.
Ghost of Tsushima. If it did do what came out, what was being behind the scenes, we're being told that it sold 2 million after 2 to 3 days, which was 400,000 less than Ghost of Tsushima. The thing that we were always being told behind the scenes was it's selling slower than Ghost of Tsushima. It's doing
That's what everybody for the most part assumed.
It's
Absolutely.
doing okay.
It was never
selling.
that it was like, it only sold 500,000 copies. But that's,
that's
unfortunately how they're trying to. Of course,
because they've got to change the goalpost.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to change the goalpost to match their narrative, because they can't be honest. They got to be as disingenuous as possible.
Right.
So we always knew it's gonna sell some, but whether or not it was going to be as popular as Ghost of Tsushima, particularly after with all the business, with their own plan for the game, and also very close to launch, of course, with the Charlie Kirk stuff. So it doesn't look like it's doing okay, but it doesn't look like it's keeping pace with Ghost of Tsushima. So how many copies will it sell eventually? I don't know. I got just the fact that it seems to have had a significant drop off in the last 29 days, 2 million in 3 days, and then another 1.3 in the next 29.
Right.
I think we're going to start to see a more significant drop off from there. So it wouldn't surprise me if it after 4 months at the 5 million mark for Ghost of Tsushima,
really know
it's probably at the 4 million.
We would know the trajectory if we had like first few days, first week sales.
Yeah.
I know we have. If we had that plus the month, we'd know the trajectory. But yeah, like if you're looking at, I mean, it's all about when those 3.3 million in the first month, when those 3.3 million copies were sold is going to be the primary determinant, obviously, with anything, if you're determining the trajectory. And that's what we don't know, because a lot of the big reason for that is that we didn't get any numbers. Everybody was left to speculate.
Exactly.
We were left to speculate what these were doing. We had to go by rumors. We had to go by so-and-so spoke to so-and-so's cousin's grandmother that was a janitor.
This is what my brain is telling me they did, right? I think we were getting the correct numbers being fed out to us.
Okay.
I think we've been given the correct numbers that it sold 2 million after 3 days. I think it was there or thereabouts, which was tracking less than Ghost of Tsushima, which did 2.4 mil. So if Sony had announced that Ghost of Yotai had sold 2 million copies after 3 days, which wouldn't have been a bad thing to do.
No.
I think they were concerned that the press would be, it's underperforming. And if a narrative started going around that it was underperforming,
good point.
that
Good
it
point.
might affect sales and sales could drop
Yeah.
quicker
Yeah.
than they naturally
But
would.
it's more like a narrative control
Yeah.
kind of thing, which isn't stupid for a company to do
No.
by any means.
So they could see throughout the month that it wasn't doing as well as Ghost of Tsushima, but it wasn't doing terrible, but it hadn't gone above it. If they'd gone above Ghost of Tsushima sales, I'm pretty sure they would have been reported. And I think they said,
we know that much. Let's get that part clear. Like, because to everybody that's straw manning everybody's position on this, for you guys that are, again, and it's not that you like Ghost of Tsushima, because you'd be hard pressed to find another person that was a bigger fan of Ghost of Tsushima than I was. That has nothing to do with it. They dislike the people that were not fond of the direction that they went with this game, and as well as who were more so targeted by some of these devs, especially after the Charlie Kirk assassination. Therefore, they're taking the pro Ghost of Yotei position purely out of spite. Here's the thing, here's the factual information here that we do know. Yes, we are left to even still speculate, because now we're only finally, after 32 days, getting what the numbers were, or that's what we're getting, the first 32-day numbers. That's it. If it had been, best believe, because that would have been the best thing for their fucking marketing. If it was doing better, hell, even if it was on par with what Ghost of Tsushima did, we would know about it. We would know it. They would have all the incentive to say it sold X amount of million in the first few days. They would have had all. They didn't do that because it didn't.
Now, this is why I think the drop off is going harder than Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
And so, because somebody actually commented you're leading me into this, so thank you. Any future DLC announced for it? No. In actual fact, to the contrary, they have said that there is no DLC planned, and the only way that they would consider DLC is if it sold well. So it would depend. They say, they phrase it slightly different, dependent on sales, they'll phrase it as. But because they have said there is no DLC that has been announced for here, tells me that the drop off that's happening is going to be more significant than Ghost of Tsushima. So I think their projections are showing that it's most likely going to drop further and further. Could end up with 7, 8, 9 million sales within the same time period of Ghost of Tsushima, but that'll be 7, 8, 9 million as regards to the 13 million that Ghost of Tsushima's done.
Correct.
So I think things like the DLC are quite significant, because you're essentially saying to your audience, we're not going to support it.
Well, yeah, I mean, they couldn't. I'm pretty sure they were green lighting things. Remember the post DLC? I mean, with Ghost of Tsushima, I mean, that was some of the awesome stuff. You had the Legends. They even brought multiplayer in this with this game, with the DLC for Ghost of Tsushima. And I absolutely love Legends. Some of my favorite gameplay ever for an online game I got out of Ghost of Tsushima. Look, and I don't know what that spells for. Well, let me ask you this, As. Do you think you get a third installment?
I think there's a possibility.
Okay.
I think there's a reasonable possibility.
Yeah.
If there is a third installment, I think we will likely see another male protagonist, or we could potentially see Jin Sakai back. Potentially, because I think if they did bring Jin back, it would be considered a failure on their behalf, the second one. But we might also see a story with potentially a male and female protagonist. But I think there's a decent chance.
Okay.
But 50-50. I said there's a 50-50 chance.
I mean, for me, I think I look at like the DLC aspect of it, and that is really telling if they legitimately don't have plans for it. But yeah, I can also see from your perspective, like, could they slightly pivot going into another installment to try to either win back the people that they may have lost, kind of getting back to its roots. That could make sense. I could see that making sense financially for them for sure. But I don't think it'll be for sure like a sequel to Yote by any any means.
No, I don't think that if they did a third, I don't think it would be linked to Ghost of Yotai. No.
Yeah. I just don't see that happening at all. But yeah, I'm right there with you. It can go either way. I do get a little bit of Last of Us vibes where I can also see where they could be like, we don't know what the fuck is like. It just it kind of gets in limbo, because if you remember Last of Us 2 and how good it was supposedly doing or was about to do, or Last of Us, if you compare it to Last of Us, you didn't get really any post support.
I mean, Last of Us 2 initially sold like hotcakes in the first week, and then it plummeted.
Yeah.
Like sales dropped by like fucking something stupid, like 92% or something.
They killed the online, all that stuff. They just decided not to go that bad. And that was a big part of say what you will. Like I played a lot of the faction stuff on the first Last of Us. I had a lot of games. We used to play some of it actually online via streams when I was on Twitch. So it was I get those vibes in that, where I could also see, I can see your perspective on that, and I could, I wouldn't be surprised.
I do think there's a wind of change happening here. I think maybe some studios might be a little bit more nervous. Take this for example. Couple of things. Number one, Square Enix are gutting the Western.
It's a movement happening right now in the gaming industry. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Couldn't give a flying fuck about the people that are gone. And I don't mean that in a nasty. Well, I don't mean it in a nasty way. I mean it in a way that I love Square Enix I love Final Fantasy. I love the stuff that they do, and I think you need to operate on the cancer, Eric. You need to cut out the cancer.
You got to get rid of it.
You got to get rid. And secondly, I think there's a lot of eyes on EA right now.
Right.
I think there's a lot of eyes on EA, because when this sale goes through to Saudi Arabia and EA, the Saudi Arabians, they're going to tolerate no fucking gay shit.
Nah.
They're not going to be into that at all. They're going to be like, right, we want to make money. We want to make money. We're investing a lot of money in this industry, and we want to put out games which people are going to fucking buy. So they're not going to have any of that nonsense. So games which would have more progressive themes potentially could get easily nixed, which in itself could see a rise in sales of those games, because they're not being, because they won't be promoted or marketed, which a lot of them are, as these progressive, that
won't be something that they'll be leading with for sure.
Yeah, no. You're not going to have fucking, my pronouns are they, them, and my fucking blah, blah, blah. And everyone's just rolling the fucking eyes, because all they want is just like, look, I just want to hack dragons to pieces, all right? Is that okay? I don't need to talk to you about my fucking pronouns to a fucking dragon, or whatever it may be. And if sales go up because of that, then other gaming companies in the West could be like, if we're not careful, we could lose massive ground here.
Right.
So, I think there's, if Sucker Punch had any brain cell, and I gave them way too much credit, clearly, for Ghost of Yotai, egg on my face for that. Stupid me. I promise in the future, I will not treat you like human beings again. If they got any brain cells left whatsoever, then if they are going to do a third installment, Ghost installment, they should really be saying to self, right, no more polarizing, shall we say, protagonists that could lose as customers. We want social media fucking blocks on our staff. If you conduct yourself in any manner, you're gone.
Yeah, you probably need to have multiple chains like of approval internally.
If
whatever the fuck goes out, man.
Right. I keep saying this, but it's I absolutely stand by it. For instance, let's say you hired me full time for Rippaverse tomorrow, right? You said, I'm offering you a job full time at the Rippaverse. on his social media page, you're going to get the Rippaverse logo next to your name. I would. My attitude on social media would be completely different.
Yeah.
Right, because I wouldn't become that, and I wouldn't do what I do. I love to shit post right now.
Yeah.
But now, because I'd have that, I would be tied to the company.
Right.
So I would know that if I started to do my shit posting, then it would have an effect to the company. If you are working for a company and you have in your bio at Square Enix, at Sucker Punch, blah blah blah, personal opinions do not reflect the company. That's not good enough. Because
you
are
cannot go
antagonizing.
You cannot go antagonizing fucking when you're a company at that level. You just cannot go in. That's the problem. Yeah, obviously every individual has their own opinions. The problem is that you are antagonizing people.
You don't need to express them.
It's not necessary.
There's not a fucking law which says stupid bitch number 6 has
you
to
have
put her opinion.
You have to put your opinions out there and tell everybody how you feel about fucking Charlie Kirk.
You know that shutting the fuck up is an option.
Yeah, and it
that
costs
is an option on the
it's
table
also
for
free, as it doesn't cost anything. It
Don't cost a fucking thing. Don't cost a thing.
Not at all. So it is a lot of shaking and moving going on. I mean, in the gaming, I think for a couple of reasons. Obviously, you have the AI thing as well. I think it's going to make some of these. I do think we're still with gaming, from what I've picked up on with some of the conversations that I've had with developers that are in the industry. It's still very far before, because it's one thing to make something visually look good, but it's another thing to program it to work with you interacting with it, and that's where AI is just not even close to being there yet. But maybe it does get there. Nonetheless, you have that, and you have definitely with these Japanese studios. I mean, you're seeing they have their own kind of cultural thing that's happened. You've seen even who they now have as their
PM,
their prime minister. There's a lot of they were at that cultural crossroads as well, and they're basically leading with, hey, Western influence and our shit needs to go.
Yeah,
it needs to go. It just
can't blame them.
Yeah, can you? You
no.
can't. No, absolutely not. You've seen what the fuck they've done to your companies on this side of the ocean, if you will, the waters.
There's a bit of a wave. The Olympic Committee, of course, announcing that transgender athletes will be banned.
Exactly. Yeah, demographics will not be able to. Which, I mean, that was crazy that you needed a fucking committee to say, hey, maybe there's differences between.
Do you know what? There's differences between. Fucking really?
What?
Oh my god!
Amazing, isn't it?
But to just pull us back on track.
Right, exactly. So
I think we've been exceedingly fair with the discussion on the sales figures for Ghost of Yotai. Okay, so the copists can say what they want, right? Do what you want, say what you want. Have a great day. Ark Raiders has already sold over 4 million copies,
and that's a new property.
Brand new IP, brand new property. Extraction shooter, which again is a pretty niche.
It's supposed to be niche.
Pretty niche genre is extraction shooter. Has made an extraction shooter. This is the tagline that I heard, which I think is pretty funny. Ark Raiders is the extraction shooter for people who have jobs. And I think that's
a
quite
shot at Tarkov or what?
No. Tarkov is the extraction shooter when you have no life. That's completely different. So I kind of like that, but this came out with a price tag of 30 UK pounds, $35, which is half the amount, by the way, of Ghost of Yotai, which was $70, and already shifted 4 million copies in, I believe, 11 days. 11 days of release with a concurrent player list of a concurrent player number of around the 700.
This is fucking huge. I can't. It cannot be understated how fucking impressive this is.
If you hadn't just had a kid, Eric, I would be smashing.
I want to
your
pull.
door
I
down.
do want to get into it, but yeah, it's just a weird
Smashing your
fucking
fucking
time.
door down, dude. Let's get a fucking team.
Yeah.
Get a team. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, man. Like I wish, man, but I am gonna eventually get into it. My IRL homies are like, bro, you have to fucking get on this fucking game. Definitely, they're like prox chat alone would be something that would like I'd have a lot
I've had
of
some fun with
at.
that. You've probably
Yeah.
heard. You've probably heard some of it.
Yeah.
I've had some great interactions. I've had some. We've had some fruity interactions. We've had some, heated, fruity ones. We've had some good, nice, wholesome. Fucking even bumped on I recognize that voice. Holy shit! It's Hill versus Boom. that was a heartwarming moment.
Yeah.
If ever I'd heard one live on stream. But it seems to have like really generated a really cool community. For want of a better word, once upon a time the word community didn't have all the fucking commie connotations
Baggage and all the other bullshit.
But it seems to have developed a really cool community. There seems to be amazing interactions between players. I have been watching other streamers play it and enjoying it just as much as I've been playing it because of the way that they play, the interactions that they have, all that kind of shit. It's been a colossal success, and as you said, brand new IP.
Mm-hmm. That's the important part. So we know it can be done.
Yeah, but Nexum, haven't heard anything derogatory from them.
Yeah.
Haven't heard any fucking polarizing takes from them or controversial. It's not a difficult thing to do. But what it does involve is it does require you to have strong management.
Oh, absolutely. You got to be able to tell people to shut the fuck up. And, you also everybody has to buy in, man. That's with anything. It's anything like, especially in a team environment, everybody has to buy. You can't have these rogue motherfuckers, man, that are like, they think they're above everybody and think they're above like whatever the company's, what their ideal is and what their accomplishments are, what their goals are, what they're trying to achieve. You got to buy in, and it's often, pretty much not often, every single time for the most part when you're coming up with these entertainment properties, especially these higher budget ones. Yeah, man, the political shit is going to run. It runs the opposite way of whatever you're trying to accomplish. Not because you shouldn't have a political opinion. You can have whatever fucking opinions you want, but when you lead with that and you're like demonizing others that don't have your opinion, because of that, and worse, like what you've gotten, like for example, in the comic book industry, these people are I don't know how they're doing it over there with these major publishers, but to see that your creators are using the properties as their political, like look, I'm not trying to bring up old shit. Actually, I am bringing up old shit. But for me, the Daniel Warren, whatever the fucking guy's name that drew Batman choking out the Ice Age.
Oh yeah.
And he has an annual coming out. The fact that nobody seems to like over there have a sit them down, like, bro, like, wait a minute, like, you do understand, like, you're going way too far. It'd be one thing if you had your little opinion on the side that was buried in some magazine or something, but you're talking about the characters that we got you working on, and you're using them as a vehicle for your personal politics. To me, automatic fireable offense. Automatic.
And didn't Scott Snyder just come out and say that Absolute Batman was not to be used as a political device?
Like I say, I don't know how they look. That's their company. It's way bigger than what mine is, though it is about to get sold as part of this Warner thing.
Good luck. If you're at DC right now, probably shit me pants.
But yeah, so whatever's going to happen over there is going to happen. But that's the type of thing that is especially messed up, where you have and what was it? I can't remember. Was it? Oh man, what is the RPG that? What was it? Avowed that had the dev that was basically openly saying that, hey, the judge found out about the game. or that what we're doing with the game, basically saying that they were actively trying to put shit in the game to piss other people off. I can't remember if it was about, if it was
the Elon Musk. Was that the Elon Musk thing?
Yeah, I think it was. Yes, exactly was. That's exactly what it was. Yeah. So
yeah,
but yeah, so it's a similar vein. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I'm saying
which was Obsidian, and that flopped. And Outer Worlds is doing Outer Worlds 2 is doing shit as well by the looks of it.
So you have people using the brand. That to me is a fireable offense, is it not? Like where you're using the property as a vehicle for your social or political views, man. Like you're using it as, even though that's not what it's about, and you're bastardizing the product, you're demonizing large groups of people, and you're using the property to do it. They don't even have the decency to do that. For me, it's like a fireable offense. It's like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
That's avowed. The player's on Avowed throughout its lifetime.
Shout out to those 200 people, man. I'm pretty sure they're having a fucking blast.
They're right. My God, it's like this is me when I have my massive heart attack, and that's what happens to my fucking heart rate after that. So that's Avowed, and then the Outer Worlds 2, same company, Obsidian. Yes, the same people that made Fallout Las Vegas, by the way. I think I predicted absolutely spot on when we spoke last time. This didn't even get above Avowed's numbers. Didn't even get above Avowed's highest.
Yeah. Just stop doing that, man. Like, yeah. So I don't blame the Japanese for being like, man, fuck this. Like these folks are rebel rousers. They are
New Vegas, whatever. Fuck off.
They're fucking with the money, man. And it's just not having that Western influence. Is like, and look, if you're Japan, once upon a time, yeah, United States was like, that was the exceptionalism. You had a lot of people, include Japan, trying to mimic, or rather, they were trying to obviously appeal to Westerners. They were trying to create things, obviously being heavily influenced, even those old animes, heavily influenced by old like American cartoonists, Disney, and what have you. Now the roles kind of have reversed now, and now you are the ones that are setting the tone. And between again, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, and all this stuff, you are the ones that set the tone now. So what use do you have for Western influence like now? Because they're the ones that you're beating them. You're beating them now.
This is Grounded 2, also Obsidian, and I believe this year as well. And that's nearly 50,000 at its peak, which is when it came out, because I think it's in early access at the minute, which is over twice as many as Avowed, over twice as many as the Outer Worlds 2. But the bulk of the players, as we know, is most likely going to be on Xbox Pass, because they're owned now by Microsoft, which means they're getting jack shit.
It's a money pit. They're literally lighting it on fire.
Yeah.
Lighting it on fire.
To say, is the game a failure? Looks like a colossal one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a colossal.
If I'm Japan, I'm trying to gut all of the Western influence, because like these people like what we put out, for what we put out, not for us trying to appeal. Let's just do our own thing. Gonna save a lot of money. And yeah, you're not gonna have to deal with this BS. So yeah, like I mean, we've seen what's happened with Square Enix, and they're more Western. The stuff they published that has been heavily Western influenced, and especially over the last years, man, they have not done well. They have not. None of those games have done well, for the most part, and we've seen entire sub studios close down. It's over with. It's over with, and gaming's going through its own restructuring, but it's wide open right now. That's what makes it so fun.
What it does, particularly when you get a new IP like Arc Raiders, that's just come on and just taken it by storm. That's all it needs.
Yep.
It just
wide open. Wide open.
Again, probably a AA studio.
Oh, at best.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. At best,
What did they do? What was it? Arena? No, I want Arena Breakout. What did they?
The finals, wasn't it?
Finals. That's what they did. The finals. Yeah,
they did the finals as well. Which,
absolutely double A. Absolutely double.
Quite a lot of people liked as on top of that. Or the very least that I've heard is that there's some great ideas with the finals. So all it takes is that to happen, and the more that happens, the more the AAA industry loses ground. Simple as that. It's the more they're going to lose out, because I think a lot of these AAA studios now, Bethesda, your EAs, your Ubisofts, they're just AAA in name only. They're not displaying any AAA levels of.
It ain't because of their ambition, that's for sure.
Yeah. So congratulations to Art Raiders. I think very well deserved. I've got to have a big think about how my top 10 games of the year goes, because
should be a fun one.
The top, the
top, Expedition, but Arc Raiders, man, is
Expedition 33, Arc Raiders.
Yeah.
Damn, there's a whole
some cases to be made, that's for sure.
Yeah, then you got Blueprints, you got Atomfall, there's been some real good stuff I played this year. A lot of fun stuff played this year. It'd be interesting to see if and where the first AAA studio drops in that top 10. I think I know what it will be. It'll be Battlefield 6.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it'll be Battlefield 6.
Yeah. But that'll still be crazy if you got in your top 10 only one AAA. That
would be mental.
That would be crazy, man.
Okay, let's get into some supery duperies, chat.
Yeah.
We got Go for Broke. Sorry, Go for Broke. For some reason, you haven't appeared in the Steam StreamYard, so I can't put you up on the screen. But I can see at the back end here. Go for Broke with a $5 says, "Hi, Eric and Az. Was just wondering your thoughts on the Azrael Batman costume design."
Overall, I mean, I guess it was all right. I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, this thought is the best kind of Batman design since fucking forever, but it's all right for what it was. I think it looked cool on toys and shit.
Oh, I loved it. I have that gorgeous one because there were the slightly different designs, because obviously the suit evolved. The first design that appeared in Batman 500, I think was brilliant. I love the design. I know that Graham Nolan hated to draw it because of the thing. Anyway, I have the 1-in-3 statue over there. If you want to get a better look at it, go check out my room tour that I did, which I showed off on Afternoon Tea with Az. And I love it. It does look great on toys. So I do have this gorgeous Batman statue, John Paul Valley. I also have some great figures of it, and Hot Toys are releasing a 1-in-6 scale from Batman Arkham series. They are doing the Nightfall costume version of that, and I have got 2 of those on pre-order because I want to have one here in the UK, and I want to have one at myself and Chat's mum's place. So yeah, I've actually ordered 2 of those because I think it's great. I think it looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Just from a design perspective, from a practical perspective, I don't see how on earth it would work. It would probably weigh an absolute fucking ton. But from a design perspective, very 90s, very cool. And very different. Yeah. Very different. Josh Kelsey dropping a $20 into the chat. Josh, massive thank you. Appreciate you. No, we haven't talked about the Steam stuff. We're not going to talk about the Steam stuff today. I know it's just dropped. I can't say is that I'm massively giving a shit, to be honest. Pre-Dawn calls for the $5 said the Ripper. Artie, you ate his daughter's eyes. He ate her eyes. Strong opinions with the $2 is Peeping Tom versus the Silverback. Who wins? Probably, I think the Silverback would just beat the shit out of him, to be honest with you. I mean, Peeping Tom's only power is X-ray vision. Silverback's like, it's got gorilla strength, man. Rip his arms off. Mr. Saturn with the $5 says Reason TV did a podcast about BioShock creator Ken Levine. Was listening to it before this, and is a decent interview in my opinion. Wish more devs were like Ken.
Reason TV, as in like libertarian fucking podcast. Reason TV. That's fucking random.
Okay. There are some good devs out there. I have like interactions once in a while with one of the devs from the Atomfall team. I streamed it. I was just streaming Atomfall. I was enjoying it, and then I went onto my socials, and they atted at me on socials and said, "Glad that you're enjoying the game. Wish I was," and I did. You know, I've had some good interactions with them, and I follow them, and just seeing their timeline, just seem like a normal, decent human being. Yeah, it's a bit odd when we're just desperate for normal human beings,
right?
You know. Mayans with a 6 shekels says complete Dustborn run when. Oh, this has got to be for you, Eric, surely.
Yeah, probably not happening. I'm thinking about trying to do a fun gaming stream at some point, but yeah, it's probably not going to be fucking Dustborn. I can tell you that.
Why don't you do a Dustborn? How long can I last? Stream?
I'm sure that'll be my most watched stream of the year. Because people would love to see me fucking suffer through that, but I don't know if I got it in me.
Suffer, Eric. 44 Magnum Norse with a $10 says they told us to screw off, and we did. Straight to the Ripper.
Fair enough.
1992 space movie with a $10 says for at least 5 years now, I've been more excited about new anime seasons and what the Ripperverse produces than Western movie slop.
It's fair. That is fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I've certainly been more interested in what's coming on streaming, or what new Korean show
South Korea's doing
appears, you know, or Japanese show, because they tend to just be far more interesting.
Yep.
And when I do my Insta scrolls, one thing which comes up semi-regularly is like these AI dub overs of these movies, and it kind of gives you an outline of what these movies are. And a lot of them coming across as Asian, could be Chinese, could be Japanese, could be Korean, and they look interesting, and it makes me just want to go watch that movie or watch that series because they appear interesting. Peter Darko with a $5 says, and calling it, we'll get to play as Yasuke in the 3rd installment.
Jesus Christ.
I can't read this, Eric. What does this say?
Ghosts of Nagasaki.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I am not wearing my glasses, so I was struggling with that one. We were samurais and shit. I think you've been beaten to it, mate, by Ubisoft, but okay. TJ Crink with a $5 says OW2 started at Outer Worlds 2 started at number 6 on True Achievements, now at number 7 with a total of around 62k site users playing it, and it's on Game Pass. Ouch. That doesn't seem great. That seems terrible. Dude, that sounds absolutely fucking terrible. I tell you what, the only footage of the Outer Worlds 2 that I have seen is a DSP detractor video of DSP playing it. And admittedly, if you want to kill any interest in a video game, just watch a detractor video of DSP playing it, and you will never have any interest in that game. holy shit. I mean, not only just probably the way that he was playing, but the game, it looks so dull. So dull. And Spartan MK5 has been a member for 23 months. Says, suffer game industry.
Suffer game industry. Suffer.
Right. Before we go, Eric, anything that you'd like to plug before we leave, sir?
It's the last week to get the Ribbazine collection, so grab that. I believe that's gonna end on Friday. Obviously, got Alpha Core 2 live. We have Detention Crew. We have the Great War Separation 3. Moving on up there, we got some fun stuff happening, and of course, right now we have some of the fulfillment going to be starting soon. We have Norfolk that we need to start shipping soon, as well as the Horsemen. So be on the lookout for that. Appreciate all of y'all support. Also appreciate y'all being y'all working with me. I know my streaming schedule's weird these days because little one, but appreciate y'all tuning in when you tune in. And I couldn't tell you when the next one I'm gonna do. It's just kind of randomly when I find a pocket of time where I just pop up in the stream. But I thank everybody for showing some love. So I can't say I am definitively going to be streaming at this. I can't do that anymore, except with maybe 4K and sake. But everything else is just going to be, oh shit, baby's sleep. I got a little window of time. I'm gonna go stream. It's kind of how it works.
I'll look into the Steam Machine, possibly a video about the Steam Machine tomorrow, but I'll look into it. Because I know they've announced more than just the pad. That seems to be, but I'll look into the Steam Machine and potentially a video about that tomorrow. Other than that, Friday we have Friday Night Tights, of course, and I will no doubt be trying to get myself back onto Arc Raiders this week. Thursday seems a reasonably open day for me right now, so you never know. Other than that, if you're a member of the gaming channel at HVB Gaming, my Days Gone playthrough comes to an end on Friday completely. All the parts for this week have been pre-loaded up, and the final part will be on Friday. So if you're currently up to date, you've got 2 more parts to go, and then got to decide on a new game. Take a little break, and then decide on a new game to start doing a playthrough of. For the gaming channel. So if you're not subscribed to the gaming channel at HVB Gaming on YouTube, go drop it a sub. If you can't find it, just go to my YouTube channel here, scroll down, go to my channel section. It'll just send you a link to go there. Other than that, again, Sunday afternoon tea with Az and Sunday fun day. And we'll be back next week over on Ripper's channel. Until then, you take care. Goodbye, Belubo.
Peace.